Go on to the next page. Now we will begin Part A with the first conversation. Number 1.
How did your job interview go?
I don't think I came across as well as I could have. What does the man mean? Number 2.
Care for any of these cookies? My roommate made them.
Don't mind if I do. What will the man probably do? Number 3.
Oh no, you still don't look too good. Didn't you take the pain reliever I gave you?
Yeah, an hour ago. Guess I've got a headache that just won't quit. What does the man mean? Number 4. Oh, you must be sad. Well, with your best friend taking a job in Texas, it's so far away.
Yeah, I'm really gonna miss her. But at least I have a good reason to live in a new part of the country now.
What does the woman imply? Number 5. My fingers are sticky from that candy bar. Do you mind if I use the restroom to wash up before we leave?
Sure, I'll be over at the bus stop.
What will the speakers probably do next? Number 6.
This strap on my briefcase is broken. Do you think you could replace it, say by next Tuesday?
Let's see. Oh, sure, that won't be a problem. It won't even take that long. What does the man mean? Number 7. So my advisor wants me to take the creative writing class that meets on Wednesday instead of the Monday class, because the instructor in the Wednesday class is supposed to be great. But that would mean I'd have to spend the whole day on campus every Wednesday.
Yeah, but especially in creative writing, the instructor can make a big difference in how much you get out of the class.
What does the woman imply the man should do? Number 8.
Have you found out your plans for spring break yet?
Well, I could visit some friends in Florida, or go to my roommate's home. It's a tough choice. What does the man mean? Number 9.
This is such a great time to buy new clothes. So many stores are having sales now, and the price reductions are pretty substantial.
Yeah, it's just what I've been waiting for. There are so many things I need. What does the man imply? Number 10. Where have you been? I was just about to give up on you.
Sorry, my bus was delayed, but I'm glad you were patient. It would have been hard for us to find another time to meet this week.
What does the woman mean? Number 11. It's so cold and windy out. This would be a good afternoon for a chess match.
Well, I'd love to. The trouble is, I'm afraid I never figured out the rules.
What can be inferred about the woman? Number 12. Say, remember that proposal for the International Festival next spring? Do you think there's any chance it'll ever get off the ground?
I don't think it's a question of whether it'll happen. It's just a matter of where it'll be held.
What does the woman imply about the international festival? Number 13.
The bookstore on Summer Street is having a sale. They're advertising discounts up to 70% on a lot of their books.
Yeah, I was there when they opened this morning. It was so packed I didn't even go inside. What does the man mean? Number 14. Can you drive me to the Andersons' party Friday night?
It depends on if I get my car back from the shop.
What does the woman imply? Number 15. I've been washing my clothes at the same laundromat you use, the one near the dorms. But I can't stand it that their prices keep going up. I think I might start going to that one over on 2nd Avenue.
Well, the one on 2nd might be cheaper, but for me, the convenience of having a laundromat so close to where I live is worth the extra $1 or $2.
What does the woman mean? Number 16. I can't believe I can't get a plane ticket for the December holidays. I mean, it's only October.
Well, I wouldn't worry about it too much. People cancel their reservations all the time.
What does the woman imply the man should do? Number 17.
A bunch of us are going out for pizza.
Count me out, but have a good time. What does the man mean? Number 18. Excuse me, I heard that there were a couple of jobs available in the library, so I'd like to apply for one of them. Can I fill out the application form at home and bring it back next week?
Sure, but you should know that we're about to start looking at the applications, and we hope to make some job offers in a few days.
What does the woman imply? Number 19. I've started reading that book you loaned me, but I'm having a tough time keeping up with the main characters. It's hard to remember them all.
Yeah, I mean, the first part isn't easy. All I can say is, stay with it. Once you get halfway through, you don't want to put it down.
What does the woman imply? Number 20.
I'm afraid this is the only room in the hotel we have free at this time, sir. We weren't expecting you.
Oh, dear. I guess I'll take what I can get. Next time I'll be sure to call in advance and make a reservation. What can be inferred about the man? Go on to the next page. Number 21. I heard you were thinking about applying for a job as a camp counselor.
Yeah. Do you know if you need anyone at that place where you worked last summer?
What does the woman ask the man? Number 22.
Hey, is this the one of the debate team? She's wearing a purple shirt today. Doesn't anyone on the team wear a purple shirt on days when they're having a debate?
I guess, but other people sometimes wear purple-colored shirts too, you know. What does the man mean? Number 23.
I've been trying to reach you for days, but your line's always busy.
You're lucky. You got me before my roommate came in.
What can be inferred about the woman's roommate? Number 24.
It's not fun being around Debbie and Mike these days. All they do is quarrel.
I noticed it too. I wish they would keep their squabbles to themselves.
What does the woman want Debbie and Mike to do? Number 25.
Dr. James, I was wondering if you would consider giving me an extension on my paper. I just got back on campus yesterday from the hospital.
Well, under the circumstances, I can't see how I can deny your request.
What does Dr. Jones say he will do? Number 26.
I know it's only a piece of clothing, but something about wearing a white lab coat makes me feel really, professional.
Yeah, but I think the department should be paying for them, not us. What does the man say about lab coats? Number 27.
I think I need a new tire. I had to put air in it twice this week.
That happened to me once. It was just a nail, and they were able to repair it.
What does the woman mean? Number 28. Say, Mary, I've got to fly home for winter break early. I'm actually leaving tomorrow. Do you think you could take notes for me in our American history class on Thursday?
Oh, Jim, I'm leaving tomorrow, too.
What does the woman imply? Number 29.
This dormitory is too boring for me. I wonder if I can move to Richardson.
Are you sure you want to do that? Even you need some sleep. What does the man imply? Number 30.
I'm going to see the sculpture exhibition at the University Museum next Monday.
Oh, you mean they've decided to vote it over?
What had the man assumed about the exhibition? This is the end of Part A. Go on to the next page. Now we will begin Part B with the first conversation. Questions 31 through 35. Listen to a conversation between a geology professor and a student. They are discussing a reading assignment about the ocean floor.
Dr. Smith, I need to ask you about something in Chapter 12. Well, it talks about erosion and the deposit of sediment on the deep-sea floor. But I'm confused, because, well, for that to happen, there'd have to be some kind of force down there moving the mud or sand or whatever, right? But I thought there weren't any waves or currents that deep in the ocean.
That's not exactly correct. It's true that deep down on the ocean floor we won't have the same kinds of currents we find in shallower parts, but we do find what we call turbidity currents. This wasn't in the book, but the term came up in class. Do you remember what it means?
Turbidity currents? Oh, yeah. Isn't that when sediment like sand or mud gets stirred up and mixes with water? And then this mixture kind of flows through the water around it, right?
Good.
But I thought that only happened in rivers.
Well, yes, this does occur in rivers, but we see turbidity currents deep in the ocean as well.
Then how do they get started there?
Earthquakes, mostly. When an earthquake occurs underwater, it throws up tremendous amounts of mud or sand that becomes suspended in a layer of water near the bottom of the ocean. This layer is so much denser and heavier than other ocean water that it flows right down the slopes of the ocean floor and gains more and more speed as it moves along. Then it's just like the wind blowing across a desert, picking up sand from one place and moving it along and finally dropping it somewhere else.
Number 31. What is the main topic of the discussion? Number 32. What does the professor ask the student to explain? Number 33. How is a turbidity current different from the water around it? Number 34. According to the professor, how do earthquakes cause turbidity currents? Number 35. Why does the professor mention desert winds? Questions 36 through 39. Listen to a conversation about weekend plans.
Hey, Neil, now that midterms are over, a bunch of us are getting away for the weekend to go canoeing. Want to come along?
Well, it'd be great to get away, but I've never done it before.
None of the others have either, except for me. I went once last fall. But there'll be an instructor in each canoe the first day.
I don't know.
Oh, come on. This is our last chance to take a break before finals. The scenery's beautiful. And if it gets too hot, we can dive in whenever we feel like it. The river's really calm this time of year. No rapids to deal with.
Well, that's a relief. What would I have to bring?
Let's see. Tom's bringing food for the Friday night cookout for everyone. The people who run the trip have tents set up, and they supply food and drinks for all day Saturday. On the way back Sunday morning, we'll stop somewhere for breakfast. So you just have to bring a bathing suit and a sleeping bag.
Well, I do love camping and sleeping out. Where is this place?
Well, it's about an hour and a half to the place where we meet the trip leaders. We leave our car there, and they drive us and the canoes upriver to the place where we start canoeing.
And who's driving to the meeting place?
Well, I was hoping we could take your car. Mine's in the shop again.
Oh, I see. It's not me you want. It's my car.
Don't be silly. So what do you say?
Oh, why not?
Great. I'll give you a call after I find out when everyone wants to leave on Friday.
Number 36. What is the main reason the woman calls the man? Number 37. What is one thing the man has to bring? Number 38. What does the man say he enjoys doing? Number 39. Why does the woman need to talk to the man again? This is the end of Part B. Go on to the next page. Now we will begin Part C with the first talk. Questions 40 through 42. Listen to part of a talk in a business class.
In the 18th century, French economists protested the excessive regulation of business by the government. Their motto was laissez-faire. Laissez-faire means let the people do as they choose. In the economic sense, this meant that while the government should be responsible for things like maintaining peace and protecting property rights, It should not interfere with private business. It shouldn't create regulations that might hinder business growth, nor should it be responsible for providing subsidies to help. In other words, government should take a hands-off approach to business. For a while, in the United States, laissez-faire was a popular doctrine, but things quickly changed. After the Civil War, politicians rarely opposed the government's generous support of business owners. They were only too glad to support government land grants and loans to railroad owners, for example. Their regulations kept tariffs high, and that helped protect American industrialists against foreign competition. Ironically, in the late 19th century, a lot of people believed that the laissez-faire policy was responsible for the country's industrial growth. It was generally assumed that because business owners didn't have a lot of external restrictions placed on them by the government, they could pursue their own interests, and this was what made them so successful. But in fact, many of these individuals would not have been able to meet their objectives if not for government support.
Number 40. What is the talk mainly about? Number 41. Who first used the motto, laissez-faire? Number 42. What is the principal idea of the laissez-faire policy? Questions 43 through 46. Listen to a talk about enzymes in a biology class.
Let's begin today by discussing enzymes. Enzymes are what make many of the body's biochemical reactions possible. Actually, biochemical reactions can take place without them, but at much lower rates. In fact, an enzyme may cause a reaction to proceed billions of times faster than it would otherwise. Before I go on to the biochemical specifics of how this works, let me provide a figurative example. I think it'll help illustrate the power of enzymes more clearly. Now, suppose you got a bag, and you put a bunch of locks in it, just small padlocks. Then you put in all the keys that go with the locks, and you closed the bag and shook it hard. No matter how long you shook, chances are very small that any key would get inserted in any of the locks. But if you took them all out of the bag and this time used your hands to insert the keys in the locks, you could combine them much quicker. Enzymes act like your hands, quickly allowing chemical reactions that would otherwise take much longer. Now, there are two reasons that enzymes are so effective at enabling biochemical reactions. First, enzymes greatly reduce the amount of energy required to start the reactions. And with less energy needed, the reactions can proceed a lot faster than they could without the enzyme. The second reason is that only a small amount of an enzyme is needed to enable the biochemical reaction. That's because the chemical structure of the enzyme itself does not become altered as it enables the reaction. So a single enzyme can be used to start the same biochemical reaction over and over again.
Number 43. What is the talk mainly about? Number 44. What point does the professor make about an enzyme when it is involved in a biochemical reaction? Number 45. What do enzymes do to help start a biochemical reaction? Number 46. Why does the professor talk about locks and keys? Questions 47 through 50. Listen to part of a lecture in an art history class.
Today, I'd like to talk about the sculptor Henry Moore, in particular, the ideas his work is based on, and also how he viewed the medium of sculpture. Moore said that to appreciate sculpture, a person needs to respond to form in all of its three dimensions. He believed that this is more difficult than responding to art that's done on a flat surface, a surface such as canvas that has only two dimensions. For example, when you're looking at a painting, you don't have to walk around it. You don't relate to form and shape in the same way you do when looking at sculpture. Moore paid great attention to shapes in nature, such as that of bones and shells and stones. He thought that if you could appreciate the shape of something simple, like a stone, then you could go on to appreciate more complex forms. He noticed that many of the stones he picked up had holes in them. One distinctive feature of Moore's sculpture is his use of holes, or openings, to emphasize that he is indeed working in a three-dimensional medium. He believed that the shape of the hole itself could have as much meaning as that of a solid mass, and could even help create a sense of mass or volume. Moore was also interested in representing the human figure, which he sculpted in such materials as bronze, stone, and wood. His sculptures of humans contain one person, as in the work Reclining Figure, or several people, as in the sculpture Family Group.
Number 47. What is the talk mainly about? Number 48. According to Henry Moore, why is sculpture more difficult to appreciate than other forms of art? Number 49. Why does the professor mention bones and shells? Number 50. What is one well-known feature of Henry Moore's sculptures? This is the end of Section 1, Listening Comprehension. Stop work on Section 1.